Let's start with a question that's coming on our website, www.mbnow.in. Gaurav writes in, says that he wants to know when a developer can be sued for providing an alternate property if the builder fails to deliver on the booked property. So apparently in his builder-buyer agreement, there is a clause which mentions this. Now the property in question is Unitech Vistas in Gurgaon. Additionally, he wants to know if a buyer can file a case to stop paying home loan EMI till the time there is clarity on construction of the project. He adds that there was a tripartite agreement that was signed between the bank, the buyer and the builder. You know that this is a question that buyers are increasingly posing to us nowadays, especially the bit about the EMI, because the fact is if the project gets delayed, if the developer stops construction, the bank is not going to stop taking your EMI. Your EMI the meter continues ticking, you continue paying your EMIs, but the project is delayed. What does a buyer do? Is he within his rights to stop paying EMIs?
Kavita, in this, if you see, there is a tri-party agreement between the bank, buyer and the builder. That is the last thing of his question. So, if the agreement provides for that, then surely he can stop the EMIs. But otherwise, he cannot stop the EMIs because there is no direct, it's not development link EMI. You are taking a loan for your house. It is given at a particular rate. Banker would definitely ask you the money even if it is not developed. What you can really do is you can definitely go to the consumer court, ask for an interim relief and get an relief perhaps if the court gives you as an interim relief. But if the agreement provides, there is no question.
Now, let us, I have, before you move on to the next part of the question. Now, you said it's not a development linked EMI, but the fact of the matter is a lot of us buy under construction homes and we buy it, the loan that, it is bought on construction linked payments. That's the plan that you buy it on. So, if the construction is stopped, can I ask my bank to stop payments to the developer?
Exactly, I am therefore on an agreement. In this case, there is a tri-party agreement. You must ensure that in your agreement itself, there must be a clause that in case the development is delayed, the steps of development is delayed, steps of payments are delayed, I can stop my EMI to such a time when the construction restarts. Unless there is a specific understanding on the development link plan, then otherwise the bank will insist on this thing.
Which of course no bank and no builder is ever going to give you in an agreement.
No. Here there is a tri-party agreement, no? So, if the tri-party agreement says that you have to pay, remember one thing under MOFA also, you have to pay 10% at the initial slab, then 15% for another slab. So, payments are defined by standard Schedule 5 agreement of Maharashtra Flat Ownership Act. What I am saying is a standard agreement provides, or any agreement for that matter, provides payment development linked. Now, if the payments are not going from the bank, we must ensure in that agreement or tell the bank, no, I cannot pay because your plan is also development link, and then only they can get the relief. Unless otherwise there is an agreement, I'm sorry, but the bank is not going to leave you for your EMIs, and they might take an action. Now, question is, if your flat is hypothecated with the bank, the action naturally will be on that, and then you will have to pay little extra interest or penal interest. So, that is there. Therefore, we have to come out with a clear-cut understanding with the bank before taking the EMIs, because generally the bank is really not worried on development. They are giving you a housing loan for your house. It is only staggered for the purpose of your benefit. Otherwise, the risk is yours.
And essentially, Gaurav, what you need to do here is actually get that agreement, read by a lawyer who will tell you if there are these clauses that Uday just pointed out, if these clauses are
Kavita, there is an important question I left to answer.
Uday, 1 second. The other thing that you also need to remember is if you do choose to not pay your EMIs. Now, the big problem that is going to happen, the big thing that will happen then is that it will impact your CIBIL score. And do remember that the developer has no essentially, there is no responsibility that the developer has towards the CIBIL score. You cannot turn around and tell tomorrow that the building was not constructed, the project was delayed, and so I stopped paying my EMIs. The fact is, it will be there, it will reflect in your CIBIL score, it will be a black mark on your score for the rest of your life and of your relationship with the bank, and you will find it very difficult to get a loan after that. Uday, one other thing that
That's a
Gaurav
very
wants to know.
important point what you said.
Right.
Because
Uday, one other thing that Gaurav wants to know here, he says that the agreement provides for an alternate property if the developer fails to deliver the property that has been agreed upon. Now, he wants to know how long does he need to wait before he can actually go to court and ask for that alternate property.
see, the status of the construction is very clear. If the builder has promised you the possession at XYZ time and if he is not constructing and not getting completed, you can move immediately to consumer court, and there is a provision of interim relief for you wherein you can ask for an alternate accommodation or even rent for that matter. If the agreement is providing alternate accommodation, builder must provide an alternate accommodation. Similar agreements are done in fact, in redevelopment, alternate accommodations are given or the rent is given. Here, you have every right to go to consumer court, get an interim relief immediately moved, and try and get an alternate accommodation which will be paid by the builder, or get an rent from him. But safer is to get an alternate accommodation, because if the builder stops paying rent, again you have gone to square one. So therefore, I would always suggest take an alternate accommodation from builder, buy an interim relief to the consumer court. Consumer court's interim relief not followed, he can go to the jail for 3 years.
Right. So Gaurav, 3 things that you need to remember. What you need to do immediately is move the consumer court and seek interim relief and ask the court that it asks the developer to provide you with an alternative accommodation, which is anyway part of the agreement that you've signed. The other thing you need to do, get that agreement looked at, figure out what are your rights as per that agreement, especially with regards to the EMI that you're paying. And third, before you do that, unless you do that, do not stop paying your EMIs, because that will reflect on your CIBIL score.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.